morning, YouTube. Another beautiful, beautiful day in southern Arizona. Managed to dodge some rain this week, move through. Even though it was on my vacation, it didn't spoil things for me. We just adjusted our plans and went about our business. Accomplished a few things this week. Managed to take the kids to Old Tucson Studios and took them to a anime conference. I think it's called Con Ichiwa, that visited here in Tucson. So I got to do some stuff with the kids. Wife and I got settled up for our 21-year anniversary, wedding anniversary. That was nice. And I managed to, after everything was said and done, get a new car. After everything was said and done, I managed to get a new car this week too. So all in all, pretty productive. So I had to bring something to you guys, and I hate to, you know, constantly post up videos where I'm ranting about one thing or another, but this one thing just kind of blew my mind, man. So recently my wife has started working again. For the last several years she's worked at several different places. She is a professional massage therapist. So my wife, she's been learning to ride a motorcycle, and she's pretty familiar with how to ride, and she has her own motorbike. Through my encouragement, she has decided to take the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course and go ahead and finalize the process to get her license. This is going to require her scheduling 2 or 3 days off in a row. And in her industry and her business, you know, this lady's business, like I said, it's probably about 50-50 therapeutic massage and 50-50 sort of spa treatment. And for the spa treatment side of things, that work tends to get done on the weekends and in the afternoons when people are off work. So those days can be difficult to come by. So my wife put down the reason for it. She put it down that she wanted to secure her motorcycle license with a safety foundation course as the reason for wanting to take those specific days off. The business owner decided to not give her those days off and listed some legitimate reasons as to why. You know, another employee had already requested the day off, and this, that, and the other. Okay, all those were legitimate reasons that she gave, pertinent to the business and pertinent to the other employees, perhaps, who had already had a request for that time off. Okay, that works. But then, and I kid you not, I was with my wife this week when she went to go pick up her paycheck and also pick up the response to her leave request, which was left in her mailbox at work. And the owner decides to write a personal note on there, and it says, you know, after giving all the reasons why the time off wasn't being given, she goes ahead and then writes, now get this, she wrote something to the effect of, I am astonished at the reason you're asking for this time off. And she goes on to list the statistics from Centers for Disease Control that says if you're a motorcycle rider, you are you have a 35% chance increase of being killed in an accident or maimed to the point where you will be a vegetable. And she's writing all this stuff on the back of a leave slip that my wife had sent in for requesting for time off. And it goes on. She then questions my wife's rationale and responsibility for her children, because what would happen to her kids if my wife and her husband were to crash and get into an accident and left those kids behind? I mean, okay, now I realize there are people who have opinions, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them. But opinions are like assholes. Everybody does have them, but guess what? much like assholes, I don't have to hear them all the time, right? So this woman took the opportunity, and of course she wasn't there. She wasn't there. She had to leave this note for my wife. So in talking through it with my wife, we're just astonished. I mean, we were really taken back. It was such a shock, because this woman's really on top of her game. This woman that owns the business, she's always been straight up. She's fairly open-minded. You know, she hires people with tattoos and piercings and you know, less than socially acceptable hairstyles and things of that nature. So she's typically open-minded, and it doesn't appear to be the judgmental type. However, she apparently has a very stiff bend against motorcycle riders, and essentially thinks that motorcycle riders are apparently the dumbest people in the world, because they're putting themselves further at risk than anything else. But get this, then she goes on to write, continuing to write on this note, that you can receive many of the same exciting benefits of motorcycle riding a bicycle, and be less likely to die and benefit from the health aspects. Holy crap! I don't know, what do you call it? Hubris? What is with this person? What is with this person? Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter whether it's healthier or not to ride a bicycle, a push bike, for my foreign compadres, or a motorcycle. It really doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, my wife chooses to ride a motorcycle. That's her choice. And that's that. Now, if this were just someone you were having a conversation with about why you choose to ride, I could understand this conversation. However, this was set up as a one-way conversation from an employer to a subordinate employee. So in other words, in my estimation, it was unethical for this woman to do this, because first of all, she is imposing her opinion upon a subordinate employee about something that has absolutely nothing to do with work, no nexus to the job whatsoever. Therefore, you need to have the rapport with the employee in order to carry on this conversation. She had not established that rapport, number one. Number two, it was a one-way conversation. My wife did not get to respond to it, and has yet to respond to it. Number three, I'll just keep going. Going back on it being unethical, just because you're an employer and that gives you a captivated audience, people who have to listen to you because you're their boss, doesn't mean that you get to make finer opinions about the way they choose to live their lives. You simply don't. Now, there are certain aspects. If as a business owner she wants to offer health insurance, and as part of that she's decided she's not going to cover smokers, okay, I suppose, but that is not an opinion. That's simply making a business decision and impacting her business. Okay, I get that. Something like that, I could totally see that. I still disagree with being able to tell someone what they can do when they're out of work or off duty or what have you. But it was just so surprising to me, and it was shocking to my wife. I just cannot believe this. So I thought I'd share that rant with you because it just blew my mind. So needless to say, my wife is more than ever looking forward to her Motorcycle Safety Foundation class and finalizing her license. And you know, I don't know what people who do that sort of thing, I don't know what they actually think. If they really think that those words make some kind of big change in someone's way of thinking, I don't know. But it seems to me what she has done is she has solidified my wife's idea about finalizing her motorcycle license and getting the full stamp, if you will, on the back of her license. And she's solidified the fact that my wife is going to do that now, in spite of the information that she gave her and in spite of her opinion. Just wow. Wow. I can't get over it. I just can't get over it. Oh joy. So anyway, that was the rant that I had about my wife's employer really sticking her nose where it doesn't need to be. And you know, my wife really loves working there. That's the unfortunate aspect, because she doesn't just want to up and quit. Obviously, this is something your reaction has to be measured. But anything she says at this point now is just going to be conflict, and that in addition to the opinion itself is what's really bothering my wife more than anything. I'm of the mind that we pay the bills with my salary alone, so if we have to, she can go look for another job. But my wife does like working there. She enjoys the work environment. Typically this is the first bit of adversity that she's had there, and who knows, you know what, there, ladies, maybe they can sit down and maybe they can work it out, you know. Maybe they can just agree that everybody will just keep their opinions to themselves and move on. At any rate, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. That was the end of my rant. You guys have a good one. I'm going to enjoy this ride. Feminine reasonability. Yeah, that's it.